Okay, welcome back to another episode of the Process and Progress podcast.
Previously, we've discussed the first 5 things that you need to consider if you want to deal with brands. And we will discuss the next 5 things in this part. So, recap lang tayo. We've discussed the benefit of having like brand deals, no? First is you establish as your credibility slowly, and second is you gain free stuff. Who doesn't want free stuff, right? And third is you receive cash from these brand deals. So, first thing na discuss natin na kailangan mo i-consider kapag you want to deal with brands is first, you need to know your base. You need to know yourself. You need to know where you are right now. So basically, you need to really know yourself before you engage to other people. Diba? Ganun naman talaga. So second is you need to know your purpose. You need to know your why. So I've mentioned nga rin doon na sa book ni Simon Sinek, you start with why, diba? But for me, you need to know first kung sino ka bago ka magsimula or bago mo hanapin kung ano ba yung purpose mo, di ba? You need to know your niche kasi at least kapag alam mo yung niche, matrack mo yung brand ng same ng niche na meron ka. And fourth is you need to know your market. And if you know your market, alam ng brand kung sino yung tinatap niya from you. Okay? So it resonates your market with their market and the engagement is somehow successful. Lastly, it's all about data. So, all of these things is about data, even yung mga di-discuss natin later. So, kailangan mo matutunan yung data as early as now, even your analytics. You need to know your analytics kasi kapag alam mo yung analytics, you have that targeted decision, you have a more well-constructed strategy, and mas gusto ng mga brand yon. Kasi at least alam nila na you're taking this thing seriously. So those are the things that we've discussed on our first part. If you want to know more about that and nauna mo to panoorin, go to that first part first. So let's proceed to our podcast for today. So 6 on our list is you need to know the demographics of your market. Since alam mo na nga, di ba, sabi nga natin, kailangan alamin mo yung analytics, alamin mo yung data na meron ka. And sagarin na natin, punta ka sa demographics, no? Kailangan alam mo yung demographics ng market mo para at least, pag binigay mo to sa brand na kinakausap mo ngayon, alam nila kung ano yung SKU, alam nila kung ano yung product na ibibigay nila para sa market na meron ka. Para at least, naturally speaking, hindi masyadong pilit yung engagement na meron kayo. Kasi once na hindi siya tugma, pwede kang mag-decline or either yung brand yung magde-decline kasi hindi sila makakuha ng fruitful engagement from this deal. So you need to know your demographics para at least win-win situation para sa inyong dalawa. Okay, 7th on our list for this one is you need to know the data analytics of your channel mismo. So if you're doing YouTube talaga, you need to know your analytics and you know how to interpret that into a simple report or simple deck para at least pag binigay mo sa client mo yan, just for example, your top ranking videos, give them your click-through rate, give them your average view duration, kung ano man yung mga data na pwede maging useful for your client, ibigay mo. Because brand deal is a business. Again, sinasabi ko na nga kanina pa or sa first part na to na if you're dealing with brands, then it's a business already. And business are no jokes for big companies or well-known brands. And with this deal, hindi lang tayo naggagawa nito kasi kailangan nga natin nung free stuff na yon, di ba? Na kailangan nga natin or gusto natin nung mga gamit nila. Both of you guys are taking effort. Una sa lahat, taking effort ng pag-reach out. Sa part natin, once na nag-material or nag-proceed yung deal na to, take effort ka ng paggawa ng content, di ba? Second is time. Parehas kayo na you spend time talking to each other, doing revisions, doing some directions, di ba? And also money. So both of you guys are spending money. Ikaw sa subscription, sa electricity, sa pamasahe mo, kung sa iba ka man mag-shoot, di ba? And money for them kasi yung gagastusin nila para sa yung equipment na ibibigay nila para sa hindi naman free para sa kanila yon. Sometimes they are being charged internally for that sole purpose of dealing with you, 'di ba? So may cost pa rin na kalakip yon sa side nila. So having that being said, kailangan mo maging seryoso if you're dealing with other people, no? Let's not make bahala na tong content na to. Somehow, siguro pag nag-umpisa ka pa lang, siguro na acceptable pa yon sa kanila kasi alam nila na you're beginner, di ba? Ganun naman. Kapag you're tapping like a beginner, someone na nagsisimula pa lang, you expect din na nagsisimula pa lang din sila to in gaining experience from this transaction. So, hindi siya like perfect, di ba? But if you want to level up yourself, you need to provide this analytics, this data to your client, to your brand, to the brand that you're dealing with para at least ma-identify nila kung anong product or talking point or proper scope of work para sa iyo. You save time and effort sa pakikipag-usap kasi targeted or well-calculated yung strategy na mabubuo nyo from your data analytics. So, provide your data analytics, hindi lang demographics. Okay? Later, di-discuss ko paano mo ba ito ipapackage. Okay? So, next thing on our list is you need to show your portfolio. So, Jeff, kailan ba ng portfolio? Content creator ako. Siyempre kasi since I've discussed earlier, this is a business, you need to show how credible you are sa brand na nakikipag-engage ka ngayon. And sabi ko nga kanina, having brand deals, it establishes your credibility slowly. So once you've encountered a lot of brand deals already, you can build your portfolio na and doon nila makikita kasi kahit bakit ba nila kailangan ng portfolio, doon nila makikita how you execute things. Hindi naman actually yung iba ginagawa, sinesend na lang yung Instagram account nila, sinesend nila yung page nila, 'di ba? At tignan niyo na lang yung videos ko kung paano ako gumawa. My work speaks for myself, 'di ba? Okay 'yun. Your work speaks for yourself, but the venue or the medium where they will watch your content, syempre provide natin a better experience for them para panoorin yung mga content natin or para makita yung content natin. So you need to build a portfolio either on Behance or you can utilize the portfolio app of Adobe or Figma, kung saan man na, or Canva, di ba? Kung saan man mape-present mo ng maayos or even website, di ba? If you have website, much better. Kung saan mo mape-present ng maayos lahat ng content na ginagawa mo and how you execute things. So by providing your previous work with other brands, again, it establishes your credibility. So yeah, this will give them assurance kasi that you will do your best working with them. And this kind of caliber or this kind of quality yung maibibigay mo sa kanila. So nalilesen yung gray area ng pakikipag-engage sa iyo. So first, binigyan mo na sila ng demographics mo, binigyan mo pa sila ng analytics mo. Ngayon, binigyan mo pa how you do things, your portfolio. So mas nagkakaroon sila ng confident na, okay to ini-engage ko. So that's how helpful it is to have your portfolio. So I have a brand deal kit actually, or I call brand kit, no, sa Behance. You can check it. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll put it in our description box. Or if you're watching this on Spotify, I'll try to attach the link in our description box or sa comment. I have this kit na sinesend ko sa mga agency na nag-i-inquire sa akin. So, mas madali kong ma-replyan yung inquiry nila. Kasi syempre, madami kayong in-email nito at syempre, kailangan din nila mag-work on the side ng hindi lang naman ito yung work nila, no? So, as much as possible, I want to reply to them ng mas mabilisan. So, I have already my brand kit na ina-update ko from time to time and yun yung binibigay ko sa kanila. So, this brand kit, so you can create a simple 2-pager brand kit. Sa akin, naka-format siya as a parang web page. Pero yeah, you can have the 2-pager brand kit na like 2A4 back-to-back na nakasummarize doon yung mga sinabi natin kanina, yung demographics, analytics mo, your top ranked videos, how you execute things, link ng mga videos mo. Wag lang yung link ng page mo or your Instagram. Bigyan mo ng link kung saan nila mapapanood yung content mo, or you can even create demo reel, then attach your QR code there na pag in-scan nila, diretso sila sa video. So this brand kit will summarize all the things that we've discussed earlier. Nandun na yung info mo, nandun na yung bio mo. So dito, para ka nang nagpe-present, parang ito yung elevator pitch mo na once na tignan nila for roughly 1 minute your brand kit, they look at it, alam na nila agad na okay, etong taong to yung gusto kong makadeal for this campaign. So this brand kit will help you visualize the things that you've prepared in numerical format, di ba? So, visualize mo lahat, pinakita mo lahat sa kanila, it's well represented, and yeah, you save yourself and the brand from wasting time and effort na, okay, hindi pala para sa kanya tong campaign na to kasi ito yung caliber, ito yung standard na ginagawa niya, medyo low budget tayo. Mga ganon, pwedeng ganon yung isipin ng brand, or pwedeng ganito, okay, itong mga data na to, ito yung kailangan ko for this campaign, ito yung type ng content na gusto kong i-execute itap natin siya. So that's how easy it is. That's how it will save you and the brand that you're dealing with time and effort if you have this brand kit and if you have all the data that we've discussed earlier dito sa brand kit na to. It's an all-in-one package para sa'yo and para sa brand na kinakausap mo. So I hope that helps, and we will now proceed to our last part, which I think it matters, no? And sometimes ito yung overlook natin, but it's part of the formula, yung confidence on giving your rate. Back then, no, medyo nag-aalangan ako kung paano ko ibibigay yung rate ko sa isang brand, and medyo minsan kayo na pong bahala. Pero actually, yung kayo na pong bahala, it draws that confusion for the brand as well. Kasi, paano ko ba ito i-offer? Paano kung i-offer ko medyo mababa, di ba? So, kailangan meron kang confidence sa rate mo. Jeff, paano ko malalaman yung rate ko? Ito sa marketing may tinatawag tayong market analysis or market research, competitor analysis, 'di ba? You ask your friends, 'di ba? Hindi naman lahat diyan gatekeeper, 'di ba? Bato-bato sa langit, tamaan wag magalit. Hindi naman lahat gatekeeper. So pwede niyo silang tanungin kung magkano ba yung rate na binibigay nila for a brand, and pwede lang sagutin, pwedeng hindi. Pag hindi na sinagot, then hanap ka ng iba na pwedeng sumagot sa'yo. So that's how you look for reference for your rates. Then, okay, Jeff, may rate na ako. Kaso medyo naiya ako sabihin yung rate na to. Kasi hindi naman ito yung rate ko dati. Sounds familiar, di ba? There's no other way but to practice giving that rate. Ako dati, naalala ko nung nagsisimula pa lang ako sa photo and video service namin nung college, no, nag-freelance ako. So, minsan nahiya akong magbigay ng rate kasi dati kala ko yung 2.5, sobrang laki na, no. So, nahiya pa akong sabihin na 2.5 po kasi ako eh. Pero pwede nyo na pong gawing 500. Familiar? Yung parang pag sinend mo yung rate mo, may kasunod na agad na pero. So, I would suggest guys na una, practicein nyo sa salamin kung paano nyo sabihin yon. Kahit nakakakaba, ibigay mo yung rate, huwag ka muna mag-reply, hintay mo mag-reply sila. Huwag ka muna mag-reply ng pero. Give the rate first, then wait for them to reply. Tapos if sabihin nila na medyo out of budget sila, then try to negotiate. Kung okay ka pa sa may room ka pa, wiggle room for your cost, then negotiate. Pero if wala, there are times na kailangan mo talaga mag-decline. Hindi lahat ng brand deals ay okay. Hindi lahat ng brand deals is kailangan mo i-accept. Una sa lahat ng sinabi natin, know yourself. Kailangan alam mo kung ano yung pa-prioritize mo. Kailangan alam mo kung kaninong brand ka makikipag-engage, kanino ka nagre-resonate, ano yung brand deal na i-accept mo. So, those opportunities, marami yan. Pero kailangan mo lang talagang piliin kung ano yung may impact. Kasi para at least, it will save your effort din. Kasi hindi lahat ng time meron tayo, di ba? So, yeah, having that confidence in rate, malaking tulong yan para sa'yo. Kasi if you know yourself, syempre, ang hirap i-undervalue ng sarili mo. If you built your base already, you know your passion, you know your niche, you know everything that we've discussed earlier, hindi ka mahihiyang ibigay rate mo kasi you will have that confidence because it is backed by data. So again, it's all about data. So mako-connect mo lahat yan. So at the end of the day, this confidence that you're having is not because of the feeling na confident ka lang because you're confident. It is backed by data na, okay, this is what I provide, this is what I value myself, this is me, this is myself, this is my passion, this is my niche, my market, my demographics, everything that we've discussed. So you'll have that confidence na, okay, I'll charge for 70,000 for this content. Pag tinanong nila, can we negotiate? What's your price? 65. Let's do 68. So, but may room for negotiation ka. So again, have that confidence in your rate kasi deserve mo na mag-charge ng better for your content. So that's all for our discussion about the things that you need to consider if you want to deal with brands and kung paano ba ako somehow nagkaroon ng mga ganitong brand deals. Again, ulitin ko guys, before I arrive in this state na may mga opportunities na dumadating, syempre mahirap, no? And nung mga time na yon, yung content creation ko, hindi naman talaga siya fruitful in terms of brand engagement. But I still create, I still build the empire, the base that I want. So, kahit walang brand deal, I slowly develop that foundation para at least ang mindset kapag may dumating, hindi ako nangangapa. At least built na siya kapag may dumating. So that's how I want you guys na magkaroon ka ng ganong mindset na hindi reactive, kundi proactive mindset na kapag dumating yung time na yon, ready ako. Hindi man ngayon, mag-wait man ako ng 6 months, 1 year, or 2 years, ready ako. So I have these things already in set and napag-aralan ko na siya slowly as I create my content every week. Lagi ko siyang kino-consider. So that's how you build yourself to success, I think. Kasi once na na-reach mo na may nakipag-engage na sa'yo, ma-feel ng client mo, ma-feel ng brand na, okay to ha. This content creator knows kung ano siya, kung ano yung pinagsasabi niya, kung ano yung ginagawa niya. This content creator is acting seriously sa ginagawa niya. So, ganun yung mapapafeel mo sa brand na kumakausap sa'yo once you establish these things, once you practice these things as early as now sa early stage ng content creation journey nyo. So I hope guys this podcast helped you in some ways and sana may pray and hope for you guys na magkaroon din kayo ng fruitful brand engagement later on na makakapag-sustain ng passion nyo, makakapag-sustain ng channel nyo, makakapag-sustain ng content creation journey nyo. So that's all for today guys. I hope na na-enjoy mo tong 2-part podcast na to. So don't forget to visit my podcast channel here on Spotify and click that follow button or leave a comment guys. Malaking tulong na sa kayo, malaking boost para sa confidence natin yon na makapag-comment kayo. And also if you're watching on YouTube, let me know how we can improve, or if you want this content, click that like and subscribe button. So that's all for today guys. Once again, this is the Process and Progress podcast together with your host, Jeff Ronimo. See you on our next one.